Good afternoon, folks. Uh, how are you doing? Um, Hold on, I'm trying to do something. So, somebody definitely needs a haircut, right? You bet I'm gonna get one. Um, for those of you in Liberia, happy Thanksgiving to you. Um, Folks in America, we don't get to see Thanksgiving. Not for another 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Um, I know I have a lot of people who will invite me for Thanksgiving dinner, all the turkey, all the food. I think they say approximately 19 to 20 million turkeys get slaughtered every year in America for Thanksgiving alone. Yeah. Um. So we couldn't do the show this morning, and the reason is because it's Thanksgiving. That's the reason why. We normally don't work on the holidays. But we have some very interesting things to talk about tomorrow. I just want to say something to you. You remember the other day we had some good news from our case in the court in Liberia. The magistrate Ernest Bonner, struck down the government's motion to deny us going forward with this case on grounds that he said Fidel Sadie, our station manager, or the government lawyers are claiming that Fidel does not have the legal authority to file a lawsuit on behalf of the corporation, and therefore the judge shouldn't allow the case to proceed. Now, the judge didn't listen to them. The judge denied their grounds or their appeal or prayer, and the judge ruled the case to trial. Now, what is this case about? You need to know what the case is about. We're not contesting the frequency because we know we will not get it. That's not what we're contesting. We only want our equipment. We want our equipment returned to us. Equipment worth almost $80,000. Broadcast equipment as well as non-broadcast equipment. We had just built or set up a recording studio in our building. And we had the computers, the keyboards, the speakers, very expensive equipment, all of them. The computers and all the stuff, and Apple computers, expensive stuff, expensive recording stuff, and these equipment had nothing to do with the broadcast arm of the business. Roots Holdings is a conglomeration. Roots FM is a subsidiary of Roots Holdings. So Roots Holdings, they went for Roots FM, but they took everything that belonged to Roots Holdings Incorporated. Ridiculous. Everything. You don't know what we're going through. The bitterness, how it hurts to see you've built your business. You have 80 employees that look to you for the sustenance to support their families. And just over something crazy, the government shuts you down. You know? So we got that little victory. where the judge ruled the case to trial. Then they filed another motion, or they tried to counter that. They tried to say that something as the government lawyers tried to say. The judge denied that again. So the case was ruled to trial. The very day after the case was ruled to trial, and that little victory was announced for us, George Weah appointed a new judge for the same court. Wait, listen. Go read the Executive Mansion website. President Weah appointed a new judge 2-3 days ago for the exact same court where our case is. A new judge was appointed by the president. Magistrate Ernest Banner, who was the acting stipendiary magistrate of the Monrovia City Court, has been removed. A new judge has been appointed by the president. And this new judge is the one who's going to take our case. His name is Juma Jala. He's the new judge that has been appointed. Now, even though Magistrate Banner had ruled the case to trial, the case goes to trial. Now, you've shut down the radio station. You seized our equipment. Why can't you return them? Okay, what does the government want to do with our equipment? What does the government want to do with our broadcast equipment and our recording studio equipment? What do they want to do? I don't understand. You've seized our equipment to hold them for what? So the president appointed a new judge for the exact same court. 1 day after the ruling, the judge ruled like today. The very next day, President Weah appointed a new judge. The judge ruled like today. The very next day, a new judge was appointed to preside over our case. Now, the judge that ruled in our favor, he was removed. Now, are you wondering? Are you wondering why? Why the judge was removed? Are you wondering why Ernest Banner was removed and a new judge appointed to preside over our case? Juma Jala, that's his name, was appointed by President George Weah the day after that little victory. I'm told he is an instructor at Zion University. He's going to be now presiding over our case. Now, why does the government want to hold our equipment? You've taken your frequency. We're not contesting the frequency. But why do you want to hold our equipment? Why? On what grounds? Why do you want to hold our equipment? Or you thought maybe by shutting us down, you would have silenced us? Now we wouldn't have people listening to us? We've got tens of thousands of people listening to us every freaking day. I just wish all of you could see how many people watch and listen. Or, well, you see how many people watch, but you don't get to see the analytics, the real-time analytics in terms of how many people are watching. The geography, people from various parts of the world. The internet is beautiful. It tells you exactly what device is logged on their website or tune in. And we know people listening and watching all over the world. Tens of thousands of devices are logged on every morning, Monday to Friday. We are off the radio, but we still have the biggest platform because people yearn for what we have to say. Because we bring them the facts. We bring them the truth. And we deliver it in a way that is unabated, in a way that is fearless, in a way that is nationalistic. So you shut us down, but still you are afraid of us. Fear is why the government does what it does. Fear. Fear. That's all. We still have more viewers, more listeners than all the other radio stations. Fear. That's what happens. But we're not going to stop. You know, I've had a lot of people talking in my ears. Good people. People who love me, people who support me. Telling me not to go to Liberia. And they think that something is going to happen to me. What's the worst that's going to happen to me? Arrest me? Put me in jail? Maybe get the judge to deny my bond when we file it? And what? What, you going to kill me in jail? What are you going to do? Kill me? Well, if I were meant to die by George Weah's hands, so be it. But I am not going to let fear stop me from going home. I will come to Liberia. I will arrive. I've already changed my ticket. I made a change. I had the change done today. I will arrive in Accra on a certain day. I will not announce the day I will arrive in Accra. But I will fly into Monrovia on the 19th of December. On the 19th of December, on a Thursday. At 10 a.m., I will be at Roberts International Airport. If the government wishes to pick me up from there, fine. Let them go ahead. Pick me up from the airport. Put me in jail. Make a lot of people more angry. Yes. Make the town tense. Create chaos. You want to do that? Go ahead. Be my guest. But I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm told the president is going to Paris, right? The December 30 protest is going to hold. As chairman of the COP, I will lead the protest. As a leader, you lead. And leading means being at the front, the full front. I will be in Monrovia on December 19, 2019. Thursday, December 19. December 30th, as chairman of the Council of Patriots, I will lead Liberian citizens from all walks of life, and we will make history together. We've written the government, the Ministry of Justice. We will publish the letter this week. They received the letter and they signed for the letter about our protest. We've informed them that we are going to protest. What are they going to do? They can't say we don't have the right to protest. So, you know what they've done? Unlike June 7th, when we wrote them and they replied us and we went to these meetings with them, and in the end we agreed on the security protocol and all that stuff, this time around, they haven't replied us. No. The government hasn't replied us. The Ministry of Justice has refused to reply us. And because they don't want, and Musa Dean is not in the best of books with George Weah right now. The last thing Musa Dean wants to do is to go on record granting or acknowledging our request to protest and calling us in to sit down to discuss security protocol for the protest. So Musa Dean figures the best thing to do is to pretend that the letter was not even written me. But we're going to publish the letter. We're going to publish the letter in the newspapers. We're going to publish it on social media. We're going to publish it. All of our supporters who are supporting this protest, you're going to share the letter all over the place. In fact, I'm calling on Mr. Mo Ali, the acting chairman of the COP, to publish the letter. Mo Ali, if you're watching this video right now, as acting chairman of the COP, I'm asking you to kindly publish this letter. We wrote to the Minister of Justice several weeks ago, informing him officially of our plan to protest on December 30th and requesting security to be provided for us, as was done on June 7th. Please, Mo Ali, publish a letter. So what is Musa Dean going to do? They're going to tell us that our protest is illegal? What is required for you What is required of you, if you wish to protest, is to inform the government. Now, they say the government has to grant you a permit. It's not really a permit. It is not a permit. What is required is you write the government, and they grant the they call you in, they sit down with you, they discuss your plans, where you intend to gather, how long you intend to be gathered for, and those are the things that they discuss with you. They don't have the right to tell you not to exercise a constitutional right. They don't. So we're gonna publish a letter, and we're gonna come out. Now, there are many cowards in Liberia. Many of you who will not show up. All you do, you complain, you mumble, the country, Joey is spoiling the country. Yeah, the country looking like that. The men not go France again. The men doing that. All you do, you sit down in the beer parlors, you sit down in your homes, your comfortable homes, some of you, and you complain. You're a bunch of punks. You never come out to exercise your right. But history will be kind to us because we will risk our lives if we must. Do you really think I have to go to Liberia? Do you really think I have to go to Liberia? It cost me $560 to change my ticket. Just to change my ticket to fly into Accra. I could fly directly to Monrovia, but I'm flying into Accra so that I can have my friends pick me up at the airport. Our supporters will be at the airport, as it was the case. May 16 was nothing. I'm being told people are mobilizing all over the place in their thousands. They're going to be at the airport. They're going to be in town waiting for us, as was done the last time. Now, the police will try to fight people and do this and do that, but you will just create chaos because people will still come out. There is nowhere in our laws that people need to have to request government a permit in order to go and receive somebody from the airport. I will be at the airport. And I know many people right under the live video will be at the airport waiting to receive me on December 19th. I'm coming to town. I will lead that protest. I will take my blanket. I will take my pillows, and I will sleep on the street with the people until George Weah listens to us. He has refused to listen to us. He has refused to lead the country in the right direction. The country has been destroyed. Today, if somebody sends you money from America or from anywhere in the world via MoneyGram or Western Union, and you go to pick up your money, you are being forced to open a bank account with the bank where you went to receive the money and deposit 25% of the money. We've never seen that before. You are compelling people now. You are mandating people now to create bank accounts, to put money in their bank in the bank. 25% of their money. A friend sent me his MoneyGram receipt for me yesterday. He went to pick up $1,400, and he had to deposit $350 of that money. $350, which is what? 25%. And when I did the post on Facebook, tons of people started commenting that they were asked to deposit 25% of their money. And you're compelling people now to surrender 25% of their monies that they go to receive to the bank? Is that how you want to enhance liquidity in the banks? I mean, you're forcing people to save money now? I mean, what nonsense is that? Because the government owes the banks more than $35 million. The government owes the banks, the commercial banks, more than $35 million. The banks hardly have money. People go into the banks have run out of money. The ATMs have no money. Nothing is working. The banks are the very heartbeat of the country's economy. Every country's economy, the banks are the heartbeat. You go to the bank, you see? You go to the bank, and the banks are telling you now you have to create a bank account to put money in your account. You have to create an account with the bank. Suppose somebody sends you a little $100 for a medical emergency. You're sick, you're in the hospital, and they sent you $100. And you need that $100 to pay your medical bill. And the bank tells you, we can't give you the $100. You have to create a bank account. Now, there is a fee. There is an account fee. To create a bank account, you have to pay a fee. The bank tells you, we're going to take out 25% of your money, which is $25 of that $100, and put it in the bank. You need the $100 to pay your medical bill. Julia said he's leaving at the airport. Yeah, some people will tarry at the airport. That's what we're going to do. Some people will tarry at the airport. You're gonna sleep at the airport. We'll let them know. By December 18, people will be sleeping. They will be at the airport. You're gonna tarry at the airport. They will see it. People will tarry at the airport. So you tell somebody that they have to put 25% of the little $100 that their friend, their brother, or their wife, or their sister sent for them to pay their medical bill, and they got to put 25% of that amount in the bank. They got to create a bank account. Are you kidding me? So now, this person was expecting $100 to do something very urgent, very important, but now they can't get $100. They can only get $75. They can only get $75. I mean, have you seen this before? Have you ever seen this before in our country where people went to receive money from Western Union and MoneyGram from their families, their loved ones abroad, and they were told, account opening fee is like $5 and $10. It depends which bank you go to. Between $5 to $10 to open a bank account. Do you know how much $5 is for an average Liberian person? Considering most Liberians live on less than, there are only 700,000 bank accounts in the whole country for a population of 5 million people. 700,000 bank accounts. Do you know why? Only 700,000 people have bank accounts in the whole country of 5 million people? The reason is simple. Only 700,000 Liberians have bank accounts. Or there are only 700,000 bank accounts in the country. Well, some people have several bank accounts. I have several. Not that I have money in all of them. I hardly have money in any one of them because I don't have money. But most people don't have bank accounts in Liberia because they don't have money. Only about a quarter of the population has bank accounts. Less than a quarter of the population. About maybe 15-20% of the population has bank accounts. And you are not telling somebody who is unbanked, that means who doesn't have a bank account, that they need to create a bank account against their will. Spend a $5 or a $10 fee to create a bank account, to put money in it, so that they may be able to collect their own money that their family member, that their loved one, or their friend sent to them. This is ridiculous. I've never heard this before. Everything is chaotic. Now you have a Carlos Gray saying the reason they're printing $34 billion is because they have to pay civil servants so that civil servants do not join the protest. You have a total of about 74,000 people in the civil service. 74,000 people. You have about 1.5 million people who live in Montserrat County. Maybe about 50 or 60% of them are adults. 50-60% of them are adults. What is 74,000 adults out of a pool of what? 700,000 adults. What is the pool? I mean, still, even if you manage to pay these civil servants, you owe them 4 months. You pay them for 1 month for Christmas. Most of them are indebted to people. The little money they make, because they haven't taken pay for 4 months, they owe the guy, the money changer next door, money they've taken from him to get by while they're hoping and praying that their salaries would come. They owe the guy with a provision shop. They're probably taking a bag of rice, hoping that the salaries would come, and they will be able to pay for that. They are indebted. They owe lots of people. So if you manage somehow, by hook or crook, and if you're lucky and you get these lawmakers to approve this thing, to print money, and you manage to pay them for 1 month, you owe me for how many months? You owe me 4 months, 5 months in some cases. National Housing and Savings Workers, 12 months. And you manage to pay them for 1 month out of 4 or 5 months. What difference does that make? It would make no difference because they're going to have to go settle debts. Or that little money, they're going to have the scratch team to carry them, tie them over until the next month that you pay, which is probably going to be 2-3 months from that month. Are you freaking kidding me? You owe me 4 months or 5 months or 6 months and you pay me 1 month. And you think that that's enough to keep me comfortable so that I wouldn't join a protest if I want to? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me to think, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, these people are sick. The mindset of these people. Besides that, I mean, I pushed the government a carrot's grade to the point yesterday where he had to admit, oh, yeah, you know, the reason why we're going to print the money, we're printing the money so we can pay civil servants. No country in the world prints money to pay civil servants. Now, there's something called quantitative easing. I'm sure my learned friend Stephen Johnson, who just popped up on his live, would help me out here. Quantitative easing is an economic policy where governments use, particularly in America, to print money to do lots of things. To print money to during the 2008 financial and economic crisis, the U.S. government heavily used quantitative easing. They print money and they spend on public infrastructure projects. They spend on all kinds of things as a way of spending their way out of the recession or out of the economic crisis. That's what it's called, quantitative easing. You should look it up. Quantitative easing. Now you cannot do quantitative easing. Stephen Johnson, correct me if I am wrong. Can this government do quantitative easing? They can't, because you have a dominant currency which you do not control, which is not yours. It's borrowed, the USD. So you cannot do quantitative easing in this economy because, for example, your domestic currency is weak because you don't export shit. How can you talking about printing money to pay civil servants? If it were as easy as that, the United States government would not be selling treasury bonds or T-bills. They wouldn't be selling T-bills to raise money to breach the budget deficit. Every year they have a budget deficit that runs into the billions and billions and billions of dollars. They wouldn't do that. They would simply go and print new money. They would simply go and print money in order to breach the budget deficit. But they can't print money to breach a budget deficit. They don't do that. So you are talking about printing $34 billion so that you can make $130 million in seigniorage income. A seigniorage income is the cost of printing versus the value of the total value of the money, the difference. How much you spend to print the money and the total value of the money, and the difference in between is what you call seigniorage earning. So you're talking about printing. Exactly. There is no economic growth, Stephen. Every economy, every currency has to be backed by exports, domestic production, exports. You don't produce anything. You import everything. So how can you talk about printing money, billions and billions of dollars to go what? To pay civil servants? So that's it for you? You just want to pay civil servants so that December 30th they can join the protest? That's it for you? George Weah is a complete idiot. I mean, the man going to France on a private jet. The man is going to France on a private jet. Now, what are they going to do if they get the approval of the legislature, which I wouldn't be surprised if they got it? They will print 34 billion and they will put more money into the economy, and then they'll make the money useless. It will make the money, it will make it useless. It will be useless money. So we're going to turn to Zimbabwe. There's going to be super hyperinflation. The money is going to have no use. It's just going to be in your hands. So now, because you already don't have anything to back your currency, what are you exporting? Your export materials have plummeted in both value and in quantity, in output. Instead of trying to beef up economic growth, and you're not doing that. Instead, what you're focusing on, you want to print money to pay salaries. You want to print money to tie you over. There's no economic growth. There's no investor coming. And all you want to do is just to manage to stay afloat. Like you get in a car, you have a very old car, and you're making a long trip, and you don't have enough gas. The engine oil is running low, and you know the car is going to crash anytime soon. It's going to break down. And so all you do is, what do? You lower the speed. You turn off the air conditioner so as to save gas. What else do you do? You lower the speed because you're just trying to reach. You're just trying to get to your destination. You know the car is gonna crash, but you're just hoping. You are doing a what a 100-mile journey, and you are at what 50 miles, and you've got another 50 miles to go. So you're hoping that the car can carry you. Even if it can reach you to the next half of the journey, 50 miles, you're hoping that it can take you to 30 or 25, wherever it stops. So you don't care about stopping the car and trying to find gas or trying to change the oil. You're just driving. That's what the government is doing. Let's just drive this car, like the American man said, until the wheels fall off. Until the wheels fall off. George Weah is driving this car called Liberia until the wheels fall off. That is the strategy. Let go. Driving the car. Is it George Weah in the front seat. Maggie in the back. Let go. Let go. Anyway, reason I you going to Ganta. If it stop it, Banga, no problem. We'll walk from Banga to go. You're not checking the oil. You're not checking nothing. You're just going. That's what they're doing. So they're not thinking long term. They're thinking politically. They're not thinking economically. Now, what do I mean by thinking politically? Politically, it looks good if they can pay salary for Christmas. Even if that 1 month, at least the Liberian people say we got our pay for Christmas. You see how the guys think? They're stupid people. Where is a stupid man? McGill is stupid. Tway is stupid. They're all freaking stupid people. So they're saying to themselves, you know what? Let go, my man. Even with money, will print money. Now, they know printing money will destroy the freaking economy, but they don't really care. They don't really care, though. Let that go. We'll print the money will damage the economy because it's going to cause the Liberian dollar to be further devalued. It's going to lose even more significant value, but that's going to happen not immediately. That will happen down the road. But right now, the big problem is they're thinking about the next election. Stephen Johnson, that's it there. But they can reach to the next election. Stevie, that doesn't too far. So they're saying to themselves, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to make sure we pay for Christmas so that they don't join the protesters in December. So let's pay for Christmas. Now, whatever happens after Christmas, when we get there, we'll cross our bridge. We ain't really care. Let's drive the car. We're going to drive this car when the engine gets busted, when the transmission gets busted. We don't care. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. This is the way they're doing. They know what's going to happen. The consequences of printing $34 billion and injecting $34 billion into the Liberian economy, when you have a spiraling inflation, a non-stop depreciation of the Liberian dollar against the US dollar, and you're printing more money to spend more money to pay people in Liberian dollars. First of all, yes, what's they're gonna do? There's no US, so when they print all the billions, how you think they're gonna pay 777? They're gonna pay it in Liberian dollars. They're gonna pay civil servants in Liberian dollars. What's gonna happen? The rate's gonna go higher. When the rate goes higher, it's gonna affect the cost of living further. It's gonna erode living standards further. And they don't freaking care. All they want to do, how hyperinflation, Stephen, that is the word. Hyperinflation. So they print more money. They flood the money market with lots of Liberian dollars backed by no economic output, no exports. And all they do is, at least we'll pay people. When the economy is poor now, we'll face our... At least we manage to pay people. Because for them, not paying people would mean more protests, or the December 30 protest would be huge. That's it for them. That is it. So at least we pay people. The inflation umpire will deal with that one there. But at least we pay people. It's like you cook poison. The meat got poison in it. They tell you the poison will kill you. You say, but I'm hungry. I got to eat. So at least when I eat the food, the poison that came me right away, they say the poison came me tomorrow. Maybe I will find something that will stop the poison from working. So at least let me just eat, my stomach get full. Then when the poison start working, I will find the medicine for the poison. when the poison start working, I will find the medicine for the poison. Now, hey, they don't really care. All that we are care about, okay, We pay Liberian people for Christmas and that's small trouble. So all we gotta do, we gotta print money, we go pay. So it's simple. If you want print money to pay people, then don't go pay to print. All you do, just buy printing machine. Just buy printing machine. You be printing your own money. Whenever you need to pay people, you just print money. Because in their little stupid minds, they think that because of your currency, when you make plenty of it, it's useful. But they know what backs your currency is your output, your economic output, what you produce and what you export. They don't know. Oh, Didi, that Jolobo and poison. So the poison that to print the money. We print the money now, we get plenty of money. But they don't know that poison will kill them down the road because it will mess the economy up. So they don't really care. Let's just print the money, man. We'll print the money we get. So, okay, how much we're going to make in senior rich income? We're going to make 139 million, 129 million US dollars. That's what, about 14 billion. So the senior rich income we're going to make is about 14 billion Liberian dollars. So 14 billion, talk it. That's a lot of money. We can pay civil servant for a couple of months or for 2 months. They just flood the market with social Liberian dollars. Money will just be all over. The money value will drop. They said, I want to deal with that one later. For now, you want to donate one printer? Look at the people who are running the country. You see, this is what we told y'all during the elections. Jolobo and poison. Y'all say y'all didn't want Jolobo. I told you, old man Joe Buckeye, that Ellen VP, Unity Party, Honor Ellen destroyed the country, but Buckeye a different man. Y'all say, no. I say, don't want a Jolobo. When you drink it, it's better, but it will make you get wet. Poison that Jawia, Africa Black Diamond. Look at the man. Look at the way the man looking. The man handsome. The man black. The man shiny. The man get the country hot. That the poison. The poison looking fine. You look at the poison, you vote for the poison. Jolobo and poison. That ain't you know. That the poison is so good years old. That the poison there. Ha. My people, can anybody tell me why George Weah went to France today? Does anyone know why Weah? Does anyone know why Weah is in France today? Does anyone know? Can anyone please tell me why the president is in France? First of all, since he became president, this is his 3rd trip going to France. The first trip was a few weeks or months after he became president, he went to France. That is where Macron promised 10 million euros. Has it been given? No. The 10 million I ain't come yet. The second time he went to France, he spent $210,000. That was last year. Last November, it was for the commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War. November 11, 1918 was the end of the war. The end of the war, the First World War ended November 11 at 11 a.m. They call it the day of the armistice. That is the end of the First World War. Now, so last year he went for that. That's why he shook hands with Putin, and Trump was giving him those ugly the ugly eye. But now he's in France. He's going to France. So can anybody tell me? This is his 3rd trip to France. Can anybody tell me why Weah is in France? Stevie Johnson said he's going to meet Jackie Appiah. Well, maybe France. I mean, Paris is the most romantic city in the world. That's where lovers go. Most married couples go to France for their honeymoon if they can afford. It's a beautiful place. It's idyllic. It's romantic. It sweeps you off your feet. The Eiffel Tower and all those very nice places, nice restaurants and all that kind of stuff. Can anybody tell me some of the best boutiques and best restaurants, French wines and French cuisine, the best in the world? Can anybody tell me why George Weah is in France? I'm still waiting. I am still waiting for somebody to tell me why George Weah is in France. Nobody knows. Because it's a useless freaking trip. It's a useless trip. It brings no value, no dividend. The $10 million, euros. Maybe it should be what? The value, the equivalent is about $230 million. The French haven't given that money yet. So why is he going to France? What to shop? To shop perhaps. There are nice boutiques in France where he buys the Salvatore Ferragamo shoes and the Gucci and the Prada, Givenchy and what? You tell me. Well, Didi, my man, I have no regrets too, my brother. I would do it again. I would vote for Jolobo again. If 2017 were to reappear, I would vote for Boaka again. That's what I would do. It was a terrible mistake our people made by voting for George Weah. And they are living it now. You know, people often say to me, Costa, perhaps you guys shouldn't do the protest. Let them suffer. Let them suffer. Let them really suffer. But we care about the people. So if we could bring enough pressure for this man to go, why shouldn't we? Why should we wait until the people suffer? So George Weah knows the protest is happening on the 30th of December, and we're not going to leave the streets until he leaves. So he wants to print the money. He wants to call the lawmakers back from the break so they can print the money, so they can pay civil servants and have some money to spend around, pay off some people, the traitors and the sellouts in our midst, pay them so they can be going on the radio and attacking the protests and attacking us and saying these things about us. You already seen some of them doing it, going from one radio station to another radio station. You think when you go there, you thought bad about me, maybe. So let me tell you something. The two most viciously attacked people, criticized people in Liberia are me and George Weah. What did they can say about me? You think they can move me? It does not move me. You can say whatever. That mean may you poor? Stupid people. That mean may you poor before you be attacking me? That mean responsible for your life looking the way your life looking? People who criticize me, who attack me, who say all kinds of nasty things about me, they're idiots. Because I'm not responsible for your being poor. That's not me. So you be attacking me. You carry on. That mean may you poor. But let me say this to you. Joe Weah, you will not get money before Christmas to pay these people then. December 30th, we're doing a protest. And we'll be there until you go. So, go print 40 billion. Go print 30 billion. Do whatever you want to do. Oh, you ask me why I'm rich? Oh, gee, I'm far from poor. I'm not rich, but I'm far from poor. I am so far from poor, and I'm very humble to say that I am. There was a time I was very poor. There was a time I was very, very poor. But trust me, dude, I am far from poor, and I'm grateful to God for that. Yeah? And that's why I'm fighting so other people can be living poor the way they're living. Far from poor. Poor making drive that kind of car. And they say that John Weah bought me Porsche. Poor making drive Porsche car. You know for the tire on the car? I am far from poor, and I'm so humbled and grateful for that. Thank you so much, folks. I got to go. Bye-bye.